What's up, my school bosses? Welcome back to my channel. I appreciate the love and support as always. So today we're gonna dig a little deeper today, and we're gonna get a little more personal with me. I've been sharing content with you guys about love languages and stages of love, and in addition to that, I want to share one more thing with you guys that has helped me along the way with my marriage. And then we're going to get into how all of those things directly affected my marriage in the good, the bad, and the ugliest ways. So stay tuned and lock in. So the additional thing that I want to discuss that helped me along the way with my marriage really is the thing that started it all. And that was a movie by the name of Fireproof. That movie, oh my goodness. So that movie started everything and made me want to dwell into my marriage, my relationship with my wife on a whole nother level, and made me really stand outside of who I was and really look and say, damn, dude, you trash, and, not all bad, but it was enough to say, man, you probably need to make some changes because y'all on the brink of divorce, for real, ready to sign those papers. So for me, this movie that my buddy from high school had been trying to get me to watch for forever, finally got a chance to sit down and watch it. And it was super dope because she had made it into town to sit and watch it with myself and my wife. And oh my goodness, I was probably 10 minutes into the movie and I was like, what's really going on here? And I'm like, damn, it's one thing to be in the situation and doing all the talking and screaming and the chaos is just projecting. And it's another thing to sit back and be in a position where you are the eyes looking in to a situation. And boy, did I see myself. And that changed the game for a lot. So this movie, Fireproof, led to us getting this book called The Love Dare. And The Love Dare is pretty much, it's a book full of 40 challenges that you apply in your relationship and see where you end up at the end of this 40-day challenge. And I can tell you right now, the first 12 days, I felt like I had it. Because, simple stuff like not saying anything negative. It was a challenge, but, it was start one day here, and then whatever that dare is for that day, you have to carry it into that day. So by day 40, everything that you have learned and done is a repetitive thing that should stay in rotation. So for me, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking okay, day one, I just gotta be nice and, not say anything negative. But day two immediately reminded me yeah, you still can't say nothing negative. But in addition to that, you need to do this. And that was I think it was some act of kindness or something. And like I said, up to probably day 12, I felt like I had it beat. I'm gonna make this 40 days, no problem. Tomato, tomato, But again, when I made it to day 12 and it was just let the other one win, I'm like, what? Come on, I got something to say. So this not gonna work. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna have to stop on 12 and say God knew my heart, and I had it from here. I gave it a try because I'm just every single time a situation transpires, and it's just it's hard to make that sacrifice right there in that moment. You know what? You got it. You can have it. And it's just I guess if you're a confrontational person, it's just it becomes second nature. And I was, a very confrontational person when it came to arguing. It's just like not initially, but once the argument started, you know, it's on and popping. And sometimes I egg things on to lead to that argument just so I can, you know, powerhouse that argument and just go crazy, you know. So overall, I made it through the 40 days, and like I really, when I made to day 12, I went back mentally and, you know, tried to restore all the things up until day 12 so I can change my thought process from that day on out. And it was important, because the simplest things that you feel like you can make it through, or you feel like you can apply pressure with, is just like, it catch you off guard, and it's just like, man, like I really got to be this type of way. Like, this don't feel comfortable. And if it don't feel comfortable, that means like it's really starting to affect you. And the thing is, you start to question yourself, is this actually a level of comfort that I want in my relationship? Do I really want to be like the HNIC where when it comes to an argument, or do I want to find some resolve? So it make you reevaluate a bunch of things and moving forward in your relationship. So, but overall, the 5 love languages that I discussed with you guys, that came after the Love Dare Challenge. And it was just like, these love languages, like I told y'all before, like that was foreign territory to me too. But I felt the need to, again, continue to apply pressure to my marriage, because it was about to be over. It was about to be a done deal. We was talking about how we were about to sell the house and, you know, move forward and try to co-parent. And it was just like, it's a done deal. But those 5 love languages, looking into those and hearing about the different love languages, the words of affirmation, the acts of services, the quality time, the physical touch, the receiving gifts, I'm just like, this is crazy. That was my initial reaction. I'm just like, that's a whole lot. But anything worth having, of course, you're gonna have to buckle down, right? So with that being said, moving forward, I started to apply pressure. I started to do research on it, and I'm doing this research and seeing how it pertains to me first, because I'm like, I can't be thinking about how this pertains to my wife and trying to figure out how to get her together, and I ain't figured out how to get me together. So I started looking into them. I started doing my research, and I'm just like, man, all 5 of them apply, but you know, these my top 3. Then I started thinking about my wife and factoring her in and thinking about like how she moves and what she does. And so I started looking for her top 3. So I'm like, man, my top 3: words of affirmation, physical touch, quality time. Hers: receiving gifts, quality time, and acts of services. So I'm like, man, I need to dwell further into this. At first, it was super crazy, because I'm like, receiving gifts, who finna buy something every day just to make her, you know, make her okay for the day? Like, am I really about to go out and just buy a gift every day? But that's right there, automatically I'm looking at it like a chore instead of a sacrifice that's gonna be for the greater good in the end. So once I tried to scratch that mentality, it was like thinking about who she is individually. And it's just like receiving gifts. Like, my wife don't have to have $1,000 bags and, you know, $100 bags and stuff like that. She appreciates that stuff. But for her, it could be the simplest things, you know, replacing something, making sure she don't run out. Those are gifts for her. Like when she doing her nails or she's doing her hair and doing other people's hair and stuff, like those products that she use and the shampoo and all of that, refilling that stuff before it run out. Like, that was me understanding on a different level. Like acts of service for her, it wasn't like, oh yeah, like, you know, bow at my feet and praise me every time I cross a threshold, or, you know, put this cape on and, like, you know, make it this full-time job that was just annoying. No. For me, acts of service, understanding the acts of services that apply pressure for me to see my wife in a different light. Like, she loves for me to help her take care of people that she loves. She loves for me to help assist with those things. And those are acts of service for her. To randomly just snatch her up and rub her feet, or, you know, get up in the morning and make her coffee before she gets up, and she doesn't have to get up and go downstairs to do that. That was, for me, thinking about this on a whole nother level. And I'm just like, this is way more simpler than, you know, me going out my way to, you know, turn over in the morning and be like, man, forget that. It's just like getting her coffee in the morning and making sure she have her second cup ready after that first one. It's just like, that could set the tone for a beautiful day for her. And it was just like, that's longevity. I like that, you know? So I hung in there. And from there, that last one that I felt like was her top three, or not felt like, after we had a conversation, of course, she solidified that those top three that I was thinking was her top three. And that last one was that quality time. Like, she'd be sitting there during her pain, or, like I said, we go out on a date, have a movie night, or anything, just to give her my undivided attention and show her that I'm there. And even in those moments, like I said before, like, we could just sit there, and our quality time could consist of us just sitting in the same room and not saying a word to each other, because we both know, like, it's been super crazy, but at the same time, we want to be around each other. We want each other's energy and company nearby, you know? So it was real simple. And I found that utilizing those tools in that way, those love languages, it made more sense, and it made my life more easier. So, and my wife, she jumped on board, and she was also applying pressure when it came to my love languages that I expressed to her. Like I said, the acts of, the words of affirmation, the quality time, the physical touch. She started applying pressure too. So you got two people catering to these needs that each person has individually expressed. Not that we assume that each individual person expressed, and here we go. You know what I mean? It turned out, here we go. We start moving forward. And it's just like, the divorce wasn't in a picture like